Namaste. Continuing on, there are a number of things about the body when we think physically that are good reasons for anyone to practice chair yoga. The ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders. Have I left anything out? The spine. These are all weak links in the body, and some people have no problem all their lives with the skeleton. Unfortunately, other people may have problem areas, and it may not be just one problem area. So bone diseases or problems inside the joints become very painful, and so therefore yoga is a way to relieve pain. The other points are, when we're young, we think always in terms of toning the body. How do I look? Are my muscles big? Are my muscles small? I don't want to be too fat. I don't want to be too thin. All these things come into play. At a certain point in age, it's just a matter of, do I feel good? Do I feel well today? And if you feel well, then you're doing fine. This is a drastic change and shift in attitude toward health, because it's not what you see as far as your own image in a mirror. It's how you feel inside that counts the most. This is just something that occurs over time. So this means also that pranayama would be extremely important to incorporate in classes. Things that we practice and we take for granted in our regular classes can also be incorporated. Some of you practice Udgith. It all depends on where you're practicing. Brahmari. There are any number of possibilities. The more dynamic types of breathing depends on the condition of the group that you're working with, but there are many possibilities. Nadi Shodhana would be another one. Again, with certain age groups, you want to also make sure that if you're teaching pranayama for the first time to them, that it's not a dynamic type of breathing or forceful type of breathing. Instead, maybe the breath is drawn out more naturally, more smooth, and more relaxed. It may not be textbook, but it's at least opens the door to pranayama for good health. Massaging the internal organs with the twists. All of you are familiar with this type or these types of movements where you're going around, sometimes in small circles, sometimes in big circles. In Kundalini, they may call this a pelvic circle, and I've heard it also called trunk circle. And some people work a very big circle. Of course, it depends on how much we've eaten or the amount of time before the last meal to this time when you're doing this movement. But these types of movements massage the internal organs. And obviously, if you were to do something like a chair version of the sun salutations, those would also massage internal organs. The point being that sometimes what you want to do is establish in your students proper posture at all times. So they don't just learn it in the class, they learn to take it with them. They learn to walk straight. They learn to sleep straight. So they learn maybe by positioning a few pillows, even in the class. Depends on the age. Some people can get to the ground fine. I've worked with some who are 90 years old, could get to the ground, no problem. But then some have difficulty at 70. So it depends on the group you're working with, and therefore you have to make modifications as you go. With that said, I wish you all farewell. We will talk one more time about the benefits of chair yoga for your students. Om Shanti.